Hello my little pumpkins, this is my friend Cassandra. We turned her into a Scarecrow, which is super cute, and then we made her a little bit creepy. We cut her face up and put some stitches in it. So if you want to see how to do the makeup, just keep watching. Give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see how she styled this look, go to www.castles.ca. Start by priming the face. I'm just using my NARS face primer and then putting a light shade of foundation on her face. Use some powder to set that foundation and make sure that it lasts all day. Prime your eyes so that your eyeshadow stays on all day. Using my MAC brow pencil, I'm just filling in her brows. Using these 3 shades of oranges, you want to make a color on the lid. You want to put the one orange all across the lid and sort of into the crease, and then the lighter part on the eyelid, and then the darker orange in the crease, so that you're making kind of a smoky eye with the oranges, but not super smoky. Make sure that you highlight the brow bone. It doesn't have to be anything special. I just put some vanilla on the underneath the eyebrows and then blended that all out. Here I'm using a concealer. This is Double Wear by Estee Lauder, and going right underneath her eye to conceal anything there, and also it works as a base for what's next. You want to make sure she's holding her eye tight, and then using a black fluid line by MAC and a very, very small eyeliner brush, I'm just creating this little design right under her eye. And for her to hold it like that, it makes it so much easier. Now I'm creating a small cat eye on her eye, not a huge one, just a little one with some L'Oreal liquid liner, going from the base of the eyelashes, making a tiny little flick, and then bringing it back towards the lash line. Apply some mascara. I'm using Benefit They're Real. I'm just using some generic brand eyelashes and then placing them right on the lash line. Make sure that the glue is tacky, and that usually takes about 30 seconds. Here I'm just using my Krylon palette. It's water-based, and just making a sort of triangle on the nose, making sure that the bottom is straight, and then setting that with the same eyeshadow that we used on the eyes. Now using my favorite clown white paint with a very tiny eyeliner brush, you want to make little tiny strokes on the nose of white where the light would hit, and then surround that whole triangle type thing with black. I'm just using a Ben Nye face paint, it's black, and then making little tiny lines through it to create that Scarecrow look. Using the same color we used on the nose, I'm just going to make her smile so that I get a perfect circle and surround her cheek kind of where you'd put blush. And then I'm going to set that with the same eyeshadow as we used on the eyes, And then I'm going to create a sort of dimension to this. So I'm going to put dark around the circle, just in a semicircle, and then light it right in the middle of it so that it kind of shines. And then I'm going to create that little tiny semicircle with my clown white where the light would hit. And then I'm going to put on this Coral Bliss by MAC. It's like a corally lipstick, and then create the lips with the same color that we used on the eyeshadows. Again, we're going to do that on the lips and give it some dimension. So you want to put the darker ones on the corners of the lips and the lighter on the inside. It'll give it a more pouty look as well. Same Ben Nye black, and I'm creating little tiny strokes, kind of the stitching for the cute Scarecrow. If you're going out in this look to do anything, you should probably use black fluid line by MAC, because that stuff stays incredibly well, and this stuff kind of smudges, so I would highly suggest using the black fluid line. With some eyeliner, just cover any glue that's showing on the eyelashes. Alright, now for the fun part, we're going to make some scars on her face and then put stitches in them. Here I'm just using my 3rd degree and then letting that dry and picking at it. You can also use latex if you wanted. And then I'm covering that with a layer of concealer so that it looks skin toned, also on the lips so that she looks dead. Putting some purple inside of that cut that you just created, which gives it some dimension. And then you can add like a little bit of red and some, I'm using some Thick Blood by Ben Nye, which this stuff's awesome. If you guys have ever tried this, it's amazing and I love it. And then to create the stitches, I'm just using this little tiny wire thing I got from Michaels and cutting them up into the shape that I want, and then kind of making them rounded a little bit with my tweezers, and then placing them in some lash glue. And the lash glue sticks, but it wasn't as well. If you're gonna go out with this, I would like suggest to make like a big clump of lash glue sort of on there and then like push in the stitches, because I don't know how durable this would be. It looks good for the time being, but I don't know if you're gonna go out in this if it would last. And then put some lash glue on top of where you placed the wire so that it sticks. Also, this is quite time consuming, so just make sure you have enough time for this. And if you're going to put them on the lips, be aware that you cannot talk. I felt so bad for Cassie because she couldn't talk for like a good hour. So go check out her blog and give her some love for that. Now you want to put some eyeshadow inside of the mouth and then blend that out with the same beauty blender and the concealer that you had before, just so she looks kind of dead and sick. And this is where she cannot talk. I felt so bad. But you want to just do the same exact thing on the lips as you did for the sides. Measure out how much wire you need, because sometimes it's annoying when you make too much or too small and then you have to restart it. It takes a while. So just doing that, and then I'm kind of crisscrossing them so that it looks a little bit stitched. If you're just doing this for like a fun photo shoot, I would do the lips. Otherwise, if you were going out with this, I would probably draw on the stitches on the lips. You could do that with like the same blackout eyeliner or like whatever you have lying around the house. Or you could make it look like the stitches are kind of like opened around there so that you can talk, and just put like little wires on the top and the bottom. Because otherwise you won't be able to talk or eat or drink or anything, and that's incredibly annoying. I'm just using some gray eyeshadow. It's called Print by MAC. And then I'm going where it would give you bags in your eyes and then smudging that all out. And then I smudged out quite a bit of the face just so that it looked kind of messy and, you know, dead-ish. Here I'm using the Monster palette, and I'm going to create little tiny veins under her eyes. This is totally optional, and then blend that all out. Now I'm going to do this bruise wheel look here. It's going to make it look infected and gross. So what you're going to do is put little yellow dots all along the eyelash glue that you just did. Then some red so that it kind of looks gross and then it's almost infected right in the holes. And then on top of all of that, you want to smudge it out, and I'm using my concealer brush to smudge this all out. And then I'm going to put green over top of this so that it looks like it's really getting infected around the wounds. And this seems to look gross and creepy, and it looks really good. I kind of just decided to do this after the fact that I put the stitches on. But if you're going to do this, I would put the green on before putting the stitches, just because it's easier to blend that way and you won't like mess up your stitches. I didn't. If you want to do it this way, you can. It is totally up to you. And then I'm putting some blood right inside her lips and creating some more little blood around there. Now with my bend and eye bruise wheel, I'm just going to go around and create a bruise on her forehead because it looked too pretty. So what you want to do is put the yellow and then the green and then just a mixture of like purple and red and blue. It's kind of random. There's no real way to do this. It's just mixing it all and making it look gross. That completes the Scarecrow tutorial. If you want to check out how Cassie styled this, go to www.castles.ca. And if you want to see more makeup looks and style looks, go to our Instagrams at Denean and at Castles Camponi. Happy Halloween, my little scarecrows.